Since the last time I shared, before this is, trying to see if you can, without the sun blocking. Oh, never mind. Nope, sun's too bright. Beautiful view of the farm, which is freaking cool. I look tired. I am tired. So it's been a week, maybe 10 days since I last recorded, and I think the last time I recorded, let me just quickly check where I was. What is my thing called? I was in, I'm assuming I was in that. Oh, no way. Wow, okay, so when I last recorded, I just got here. Crazy. Okay, so from Miraj's family's house, after then I moved to this other private room it was near Syracuse, I don't know, Syracuse, I think that's how you say it. And that was like a chill little spot. I met some interesting people. The landowner was pretty interesting. The other roommate who was studying anthropology through like dead skeletons was cool. He was the guy I was staying with. I used to go to this like meat store that was across my house because we had a kitchen, and it was like $3 meat for like really good and a lot of meat. So I made that for dinner. I went across to the shopping center to that Starbucks and finished my work there. They had really good Greek food there. When I spent time, what else did I do around there? I walked a lot there. Oh yeah, one of the days I took the bus to kick it with Tina, and then kicked in central London. And then after that, oh yeah, that was the time I actually spent a day in central London. That was really cool when I saw the tower and the castle and everything. That was cool. And then from there, I moved to other spot at the woman's house in near Greenwich. There I went to Greenwich Park. I It was good. Yeah, it was cool. It was fun. That was really relaxing. I just had really bad jet lag in the second place, so that's why that was kind of like I had a lot of trouble with that. But then when I went to the family's house, they were so nice and kind, and they were amazing people. Let me blow my nose. Allergies are killing me, but you habituate to things. And then I went and stayed in Oxford at the hostel. Was that fun? That was such a cool experience, honestly. Like, I met Diana, Rafaela, X. I met, what's her name? Rosa. I met Jesse. I met Luke. I met so many people. Like, every day I met like the three girls we went out with in the beginning to turn up at the Latin Club. And then I met the funniest white dude from Chicago ever. And then we met, the beautiful girl from Brazil. We met the Dutch girl. We met, all my friends who work there. The Brazilian, Costa Rican. The other guy was from Argentina. Everyone was so interesting, cool with their own stories. It was all like travelers, so they understood. So I just wanted to quickly say that more so I didn't forget the things that I did. So I just said all those things, but I guess now let's get to the juicy part, which is what did I learn and what were the themes? Right? Who cares what I did? So I had this moment before I left the hospital where, damn, I haven't even talked in a long time. I mean, like at least about these things. Can we talk about being listened to? I have so much to say. I haven't really shared any of my experiences out loud, so I feel like I don't feel very heard in my life. Like I feel when I explain what happens to me, people always want to like, I really don't need anyone's advice. Like, if I want your advice, I'll ask you, I promise you. But I promise I don't want your advice most times. Oh, I just want someone who asks good questions. Like, geez, can you just ask good follow-up questions that make me think about things that I didn't ask myself? Like, that would mean so much more to me than any advice you could possibly give me. So, like, I'll, like, be sharing, like, a story about myself. You don't need to relate. Like, you don't need to understand. I just feel like there's a particular way I would appreciate being listened to, and that's like when I say share something, like understanding that we're all going through our own journey, that like our lives are so unique that there's nothing you could possibly say. Like, okay, so let's talk about this maybe. So what are the possible responses when someone shares something with you? You can say, I understand, right? So let's say you're going through something and you think no one else goes through it and you're the only one. Maybe in that situation saying, hey man, like I just want to let you know I've gone through something similar might be helpful. Maybe, right? And then there's, let's say, I don't even care if you've gone through it. Let's say it's a pretty niche thing. I'm probably the only one out of us two that have probably gone through something, and I just want to complain. There you can just, really value my feelings and be like, damn, that sucks. But then I think there are also times where, like, simply just acknowledging that something sucks is not necessary, because it's not everything sucks or not everything is great. Like, I think that's like when it's easy what someone's supposed to feel. But let's say I'm maybe sharing something about my past. Like, let's say I'm sharing, it could be anything. For me, it could be, let me tell you my experience with club fees. I don't know, whatever. Being like, damn, that sucks is kind of like, well, it doesn't really suck. So, like, or you can't be like, damn, that's awesome. So, like, that's, I think, easier if you're like, man, in traffic, I got stuck and someone bumped my car. Then you can just be like, damn, that sucks. Because I think that's like an easier one to kind of mitigate to one feeling. But let's say it's like a lifelong thing you live with. It's not going to just suck. There's going to be parts that are beautiful. There's going to be all types of feelings. So in that situation, being like, oh, I understand how you feel. I have this disability, doesn't really like make me at least feel hurt. So I think there, what I want is someone who's like curious, like wants to understand more of what it's like. Like, no one gives a shit. And like, to listen, you have to actually care. You have to care about understanding more than you do about saying something yourself. Damn, that's true for me too. When someone's sharing something with me, like, be curious, understand why they feel a certain type of way, what about it affects them. So let's talk about questions to be curious about. Why not? Okay, so let's say we have problem X. I'm sharing, hey, I have this internal pain in my gut. I'm making something up. I'm glad my gut is good. I love you, gut. Internal pain in my gut, and it's been staying there for a while, and I don't know. Since it's not going away, this chronic pain has been making me feel like I am not capable. It's been making me feel like I'm going to die soon, so on and so forth, and I don't know what to do. Random problem. So what questions can you possibly ask? So you can ask about the problem, You can ask about their feeling, and you can ask about future behavior. So, right, so let's break those into 3 down. So first, let's talk about the feeling itself. For that particular one, you can say, where does it hurt? What type of hurt is it, right? You're asking very much about their actual pain. So, in situations where it's physical, I guess that's easier than when it's mental pain. If it's a mental pain, you can ask them, like, how do you feel like that stress is, like, affecting you in your day to day, right? Like, do you feel your stress is, like, manifesting in your body in different ways, so on and so forth. You're asking about the pain, okay? Then, so that's the physical effects of anything. Then you can move on to, so you can now understand, okay, these are the ways this person is physically hurting from these things, and it's impacting their life. Now let me ask why they're feeling those ways. So why do you think, okay, so maybe asking why you're stressed because they just explained it all is not the best question. So if I just tell you, I feel sad because X, Y, and Z, and then being like, why are you sad? That's kind of stupid. But what you're trying to really ask is, like, I understood those reasons, but, like, what is one level down? Why are you sad, right? Because it's never just those. And so how do you get to that without asking them again, why are you sad? Because then they should be like, I just told you why I'm sad. But you're trying to, like, delve a little deeper. And so there, what do you ask? You say, you're gonna be like, why do you think you're actually sad? That like minimizes everything they just shared. It's more like, so I guess, okay, so let's say they say, some X is causing me to be sad. You can be like, what part of X do you think is making you sad? Like, why do you think your gut hurting, or a specific part of that makes you sad? Without being like, maybe this or that. And so that's a good way to, I guess, like, delve a little deeper into, like, their feelings and not necessarily just stick with, like, the external reason they already gave you. So, okay, so we talked about understanding the actual physical manifestations of their pain. Then we talked about getting a little deeper on why they're feeling pain. And now I think the most important part is talking about, like, what are you going to do about this? What do you think are some, and this may not need to be done in every conversation, but I think it doesn't hurt to ask, like, what are some ways I can help you? What are some steps we can work through this together? What do you think? Are you going to have a conversation with your parents about this? Whatever, if that's, like, what their thing is, like, oh, I have a bad relationship with my parents. Do you feel like it's ever going to change? Like, so focusing on the future, focusing on the pain itself, and then focusing on the more metaphysical reasons or why they feel that pain. So yeah, so that's cool. So okay, so that's a helpful way for me too to just draw out the different forms of listening to really be there for someone. My hair looks crazy. I look like a doofus. Okay, cool. So that's good. So what I want to do moving forward is I want to be around people who listen to me, but also be a better listener to others. And I think that as you work through your journey of just healing yourself and becoming a man, I think, like, it is possible that you are going to be the one who listens more than are listened. And that's okay. That is totally okay. But I think you're going to have to learn how to be listened by yourself. You have to ask those questions to yourself. How are you feeling? And I guess that's what this is, right? Like, a good place to just, like, throw my feelings out and just, like, be heard by even it's kind of like I'm being heard by my future self. I feel like my future self is listening to me, and so that actually feels kind of good. So I do feel heard by recording these. But yeah, so yeah, okay, so that's one, right? Okay, cool. Why do I look so crazy? I don't know. So let's talk about beauty next. That's the next thing I think that has been on my mind a lot. So I was hanging out with this Dutch girl. She's 18. Do we call her a woman? I don't know. But I met her at the hostel. She was the only one who wanted to go dancing, so we went dancing. I turned that place down. I shut that place down. But you know, so lay down sideways. So it's weird looking at your face. I feel like I don't look at mirrors too often anymore. So when I do look at my face, I'm just like, oh, whoa, look at that. I have a face. I haven't been taking care of it too much recently, as I should. I look crazy. Which is stupid. Who cares? I don't know. You gotta love yourself. Okay, so beauty. Let's get to that. So I was hanging out with her, and she kept talking about how she loves people watching, right? And so I was first very excited because I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want to watch people watch this." But the way she people watches is a lot more judgmental than the way that I people watch. Like, which I guess they both are equally the same. Not to say one is better, but she attributes a lot more negative qualities of the people she watches when I try to be at least with them to some extent, be positively oh, this person is probably nice, whatever. And so since she was so judgmental towards just people, I realized I was also being a lot more judgmental of myself. Because I was like, oh, if she's looking at everyone else like this, then she's probably looking at me like that, right? And so, big ass fly in my room. Jesus, flies are stupid. And I love flies, but they're also just so how do you not see the way to exit the room? Just move a little over. Oh my god, I feel bad for this fly. It's literally bouncing out in and out of the window. It's so close to the exit, but let's see if we can make it. It's almost there. Jesus, it's so close. The window's right. Oh, the window's right there, bro. It's having the hardest time, I think. It stopped flying because it was I keep hitting myself. Oh my god. It's so stupid. I mean, it's thinking now. Now, see, it's not flying. But it keeps trying. Cause I think it's because it's a white window. It doesn't understand. It's like glass. Animals are fascinating. But being around her, I just realized I started judging myself a lot more too. And I think that, being. I'm trying to see if it gets out. Hold up. Give me a second. It's literally maybe 4 inches away from the front. 3 inches now. Now it got really high up. I don't think it's gonna. Oh, it did. It flew out. Yay! Alright, great. It flew out. Okay. I'm glad it figured its way out. Okay. So, seeing the people that you're around and the things that they say and the things that they worry about and how they view others subconsciously eventually comes into your own brain. So if you're around people who are always judging others, then you start judging yourself that way because they're looking at other people that way. Therefore, I should probably self-regulate myself because I know what they're looking at. And so spending time with her, I just started looking at myself in a lot more like. And so later, Diana, when I was leaving, said something. She was like, "Thank you for your energy." So like, not even on some like spiritual voodoo energy shit, but like genuinely thank you for your presence type. And it was just like so nice because I feel like I don't hear that enough. Just like Jesus, like why can't we just be appreciated for existing? Like just thank you for being here and sharing your stuff with the rest of us. And it's like that is the most beautiful compliment to me that someone can give you. Like not thank you for being fun, thank you for being whatever. Thank you for just existing and sharing your life with the rest of us. And so I really appreciated that when she said that to me because it snapped me back into you can be appreciated no matter how you look. Like I do not look good right now, and I have not been like my energy has not been channeled there. But I probably look the same to other people no matter, you know, and if I get the haircut, I focus, you know, more on my body and wanting to look sexy. Like I'll probably look better because whatever you channel your energy toward usually gets better, if not perfect. And so I just haven't been channeling my energy there. And I guess the reason is let's talk about that. Why not? Why haven't you been channeling your energy there? I think a part of it is just like you're afraid of becoming who you used to be if you channel energy there. And so, but in fact, there's nothing wrong with channeling energy there. Another part of me is just like, imagine attracting people into your life who are only into your life because they think you look a certain way. Which is not to say that like that should not be a part because like you clearly taking care of yourself like 100% says something. But I think there's a line between taking care of yourself and like narcissistically like caring how you look. Like taking care of yourself would look like yoga. It would look like stretching. It would look like meditating. It would look like eating right. It would look like exercising. That and I do those things. I don't think it looks like cutting your hair. I don't think it looks like shaving. I don't think those things have anything to do with self-care at all, actually. Like society may tell you these actions are self-care and you may feel like it is, but like they could tell you any ludicrous thing and call it self-care. They could be like, oh, like cutting off your leg hair. I mean, they do actually say that for women, but like they don't say it for men at least. But I'm just saying, like they could say anything and be like, oh, it's self-care. So when you do it, you can no. But like it's like just because you know what I mean. Like okay, like for example, take the leg hair one. I'm pretty sure there are many girls out there that when they shave their legs, they feel like they're taking care of themselves and they probably get those good feelings in their head. They're like, I took care of myself. But it's like, did you really? You did some like pretty arbitrary thing that your culture tells you is like good for you to do. And then you do it, and then you're like, oh, I took care of myself. But like, can we define what it means to take care of yourself? Like, is it just any arbitrary thing your culture tells you to do? Like, I think like there are some things like for example exercise that has nothing to do with how you look for someone else that genuinely improves your own, even if you lived on an island isolated, your own life. Doing breathing practices improves your life regardless of who is looking at you. Shaving your leg hair does nothing for anyone in your society. It does nothing. Shaving my beard and my hair does nothing to anyone. It's useless. It's so fucking useless. Who gives a fuck? Like, who cares how we look naturally? Why don't we all just do that? So here's an experiment. Here's my hair not cut at all since I was bald. So look at it. Look how ludicrous it looks. But I love that. So beauty was been on my mind. Listening. I've finished the Man's Search for Meaning, phenomenal book. I'm reading Habits, another one. Web Path of the Web of Meaning. Pretty cool so far. Let's get back on that podcast grind today. Get some work done. Gotta go grab some food, do some yoga. It's gonna be a great fucking day today. I learned a lot. Hanging out with so many different cultures. Everyone kind of shared their own. I forgot. How could I forget that guy? The guy with the long hair. He was great too. But yeah, great. Keep it up. You're slowly getting accustomed to the battles of traveling. So proud of you, brother. Love you. I will see you soon. Stay alive. I love you.